guys, Sophia here, My Great Challenge. Welcome back to my channel. We are in the kitchen still. There's going to be some decluttering, but really the purpose of this video series is to tackle a new project. So, you know, I have this agenda, the artful agenda that I use. And this year I have literally scheduled myself for every single project that needs to be done in the house. And they're all happening within certain time frames. So I'm starting with February. I didn't do anything for January other than the decluttering, but I pretty much have a DIY project every month until the end of November. And they all timed specifically in response to events in the household. I'm not gonna share that, but there's a reason why they're happening in a particular sequence. So we're in the kitchen, and what is going to happen here? You know that I have a love-hate relationship with my kitchen. Like most people, I purchased a house that had a kitchen already installed, and renovating the kitchen, redesigning the kitchen is not on our priority list. It just is not. I'd rather have other things done, which we did. You know, the siding, for instance, was one of them. Changing the windows was one of them. Our next big thing for the house is probably going to be the roof. So it's not time for us to put our money aside for a kitchen renovation. So I have to live with it. And I don't know who designed it. If it's the previous owner or the guy before him or a mix of both. But this kitchen really was not designed in a way that makes sense to me. And it's also kind of a pain to navigate. So what do I mean by that, a pain to navigate? Well, there's a counter which takes a lot of space, and it's like one of those sit-down counter, and it has 2 seats, but it's the 4 of us, so okay, whatever. And it's taking so much room. And really the space underneath it is not a space that is really all that useful. This is where I keep all the bulk of my appliances. And then I'll give you a tour. I'll show you what I'm talking about. But the bottom line, at the end of the day, the biggest issue with the kitchen is that we can't really eat in it. It's not an eat-in kitchen. There's no real space to eat in this kitchen. So we constantly have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Once in a while, somebody will have a snack or maybe breakfast at the counter. But 90%, if not more, of our meals are in the dining room. And I'm sick of it. Just sick of it. One of my big dreams is to put an extension on this house and eventually push the kitchen out by a good 20 foot or 20 feet. And so that I can get rid of the counter and have a proper table with more cabinet space and more counter space, but get rid of that stupid island. But let's take a tour. I'm going to show you what the kitchen looks like and what I plan on doing, and the project for the month of February. So welcome to the kitchen, and no, I did not fake clean. This is the kitchen on a Sunday morning. Well, it's actually past noon. All right, so these are the ones that I've decluttered. You've seen me declutter those. And by the way, I ended up putting my tea over here, and man, that frees up the whole counter here, and that worked great. So these little drawer things, that was great. So there's a sink, right? It's right across from here, which is the stove. There's a bunch of cabinets surrounding the microwave, the stove, 2 cabinets here on both sides. They're small, they don't contain a lot, but it is what it is. And then this is the island/counter that I'm referring to. This thing is ridiculous, all right? First of all, it's huge, all right? It's really, really huge. And then there's space to put 2 chairs. And again, no, I did not fake clean, all right? This is life. But there's only like this much space, okay? With the heater over here. This window gets sunshine in the morning. All of this here gets sunshine in the morning. You can see the sun is already turning towards the other side. This is facing northeast. So I get sunshine in the morning, but we miss that. So this big thing here, useless, all right? We do prep on it, but it takes a huge amount of space. Now, ideally, what I would want to do is cut it and continue this all the way up to here with cabinets underneath it, and we can still use the space to prep. But this island thing, this counter, is absolutely useless. Not a single person in this house eats here. I used it as an office for a while. It was just cold. It was not comfortable. Hence the reason why we had the TV, I don't know if you can see it, it's backlit, installed right here. All right, so these stop right here. And when we moved in, this space right here was empty. Mike, the previous owner, had a office desk type thing over here with a chair. If I find a picture, I'll put it right here so you can see what he did. And it just didn't seem like an appropriate space for it when we moved in. So this whole space here was empty. And, you know, we ended up having dogs. And we had 2 crates for a long time, and then we lost Electra in December. So now we only have 1 dog, and yes, the dogs are crated at night, hence the reason why you don't see them here. They only go there at night. So we had the 2 crates, but now we only have 1 crate, and there's a bunch of stuff on top of the crates. And then I installed this counter here, which we don't prep food on. It's basically a catch-all, all right? I have these canisters that Paige sent me, and I want to keep them, but they have to be displayed properly. I haven't been able to do that because there's really no room, but I'm keeping them. So we're going to have to be creative. Keep my fruits here, the soda stream, and all of my utensils. And then this stupid window. I don't know why they put a window here. Okay, the window basically gives you a view of the deck, all right, which is in the dark most of the year. It's got, the sun hits the deck from here over to that side. This area here is always in the dark. There's never any sun coming through this window. This window is useless, okay? Absolutely useless. So ideally, what I would like to do is close off this whole space here and maybe even move the fridge over there, and, you know, but I'm not doing that. This is not the project. But you better believe that eventually that whole window here is going to get removed. And I'll have a wall with pantry and whatnot. So the projects for today, well, for the month of February, because you're wondering, well, where's she going with this? All right. I'm removing all of this. All of it. And I'm going to attempt. I'm not going to build it. I was going to build it, but I decided not to. I'm going to attempt to make this an eat-in kitchen. So I have to remove everything. The counter that I built, the dog crate has to move to the other side, behind the counter. The tall stools will be removed. Those 2 stools here will be removed. So there's not going to be any sitting at the counter anymore, which we don't do anyway. And once the counter is removed, I'm probably going to install some shelving here against the cabinet. They may even go all the way up. I'll see about that. And I'm thinking of either a rectangular table, a small rectangular table with some chairs, or a round table with chairs. I'm not sure if I want rectangular or round. It's not a large space. It would make sense if it's rectangular, but I kind of like the round idea. But first I got to remove everything. So brace yourself. The dog sleeps there. There's plenty crud. There's plenty crud and dog hair and lost kibble behind the crate, even though we go routinely and clean, you know, they shed. So it's going to be gross. All of this here is going to have to get relocated. All of this here is going to have to get relocated. So what I mean by the shelving is that I want to build kind of like a shelf that goes all the way up. For these guys, maybe books, the cooking books that would free up this entire cabinet here, and then other item that we need to store. So that just leaves me this space here. It's not huge, okay? So I have to find a small table. Oh, and if you're brand new, you probably want to see the other side. Okay, the other side is this. So initially the fridge that was in here was just a regular single, you know, white fridge, and they had a partition that was going all the way down. So the fridge was kind of inside this cubby. But then we bought a bigger fridge which was very much needed. So that partition had to be removed because the fridge is a little bit bigger. And I don't know why this sign is sideways. It used to be straight. We're gonna roll with it, all right? So that's it, that's the kitchen. It's not huge. It's not an Instagram kitchen. Yeah. Oh, and you know, my Corningware, which is not going anywhere. The pots, they have to be hanging because there's no room. Yeah, so ideally, this whole thing here would be knocked out, right? And then the counter would go all the way up there. So all of this here would be out. Wouldn't that be nice? That would make sense, right? I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know. I don't know. It's a little difficult to film here because of the windows. I'm constantly backlit one way or another. So I moved the shade down. I'm hoping this is a little bit better. This counter here, I built this before YouTube. I think. I can't remember. I know it was probably a year or two after we moved. I don't recall filming it, so it's probably before YouTube. So it's 13 years that I've had this. I definitely want to keep the wood because I'm going to repurpose it to do shelving. All right. Everything here has to find a new place for this whole thing to work. And that's going to be the tough part. So this can go back to the left side where it used to be. All right, pages, things, they need to be washed, but I'm going to put them on the counter for now. And then eventually they will be, I could do that. I'm not married to those prints on the wall. I could actually declutter that. I know some of you are thinking, oh, here we go again, shuffling stuff. Yeah, that's all right. I think I will shuffle things as long as I'm alive. And until I find what works. Okay. I found this on the street, actually. A happy home recipe, 4 cups of love, 2 teaspoons of tenderness. This is from Penn Black Forest Deer Park. That can go. Okay, decluttered one thing. All right. These are actually pretty cool. How would you call them? Foldable transition shelves of sort. They're practical. Okay, that's a key. Fruits and potatoes. All right, some of these potatoes have seen better days. They gotta go. There was a time when I was constantly on the lookout for the Corningware lasagna pan. And I think the same week that I finally found one at the thrift store, somebody sent me one as a gift. And then I received one a few weeks later. Ooh, I can't carry that with one hand. So now I have 3. And they need to go back to the shelf. Okay, next is the soda stream. It's gonna have to get relocated. We use it every day, several times a day. And we stopped using the flavor, by the way. We only do plain salsa, no more flavors. And this is hip and joint soft chews. That's for the dog. You probably can't see it. It's a corner shelf thing that was for a bathroom that I found on the street. And we've been using it to put the onion, shallots, sweet potatoes, and dog treats onto it because, you know, we're always looking for some kind of space. So that can go too. I'll have to figure out where we're going to put these guys moving forward. Okay, so I'm not going to keep this, decluttering that. I'll have to figure out something else for the potatoes, and They used to be in a cupboard here or cabinet. Maybe that shelf that I'm going to build here on the side could have the, you know, like little cubbies for those. I know they exist, like wooden cubbies that are on a swivel. I may do that. Okay, this is where I stash my duster. This is the dog food. This is everything but the kitchen sink. So we're gonna look into that. You know, one of the advantage of decluttering on a consistent basis like I have is that you get to know yourself, right? You get to see patterns. For instance, I know that if there's a flat surface in my house, it's a guarantee something's gonna land on it. I don't know people who don't fill the surfaces. I don't know how they do it, but we do. All right? It's not just me. Then there's the containers. If there's a container somewhere in my house, you better believe it's going to be filled up. Here's the proof. Okay. This was intended initially to only contain things like this, the very tall kitchen tools that we can't fit in a drawer and have no place for. And now this. Okay, so remember this guy? I said I didn't know what to do with it. It ended up here. So this is a keep. I'm going to assume this is a keep. This have no business here. None whatsoever. Okay. Leftover of those shelves. Trash. These are markers for furniture. They don't need to be here, but they are keep. Okay. These are the labels for containers. I've already labeled all my containers. Do I need all of these leftovers? I gotta think about it. Okay, this I don't need. Trash. These are actually really good. I bought them on Temu and they're meant to use as mats in the oven or on the grill. And I'm actually using them. I cut them to size and I'm using them on my stove top to protect my stove when we cook. And you just pull them out, rinse them, put them back on, and your stove top, your enamel top, is undamaged. So I'm keeping those because you never know. Alright, these came with all the containers that I had purchased. I have zero use for them. I'll keep 2. This can go. Barbecue. 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 More barbecue. Filter for the microwave. That needs to be replaced. Let me put it to the side. That was a gift. I should use it, but oh, here we go. I'm gonna put it on the dining room table. I never used it. It's a trivet. Okay, be right back, putting it on the table. These are leftover of those wrap cord things to put on the back of appliances. It's gonna go downstairs with the furniture markers. This one here can go somewhere else. This is a rack for plates and stuff. I didn't really use it. These are food bags. This is for the food vacuum. I never use that. That's trash. This is keep. More labels. And then that's the replacement seal for the vacuum. The food vacuum. That's trash. Okay, trash, trash, trash. trash. This is trash. Can I donate this? Trash. This is donate. This is trash. All right. So garage. That's where I need to keep it. And all of this is relocate. Let me use this. This. We gotta keep it here. This we keep here. This I gotta measure it and order 2 new ones. And this is donate. All right. Oh wait, there's more. The Soda Stream bottles. The refills. Okay. All right. I'm done. And you know, once I have everything done, it's not going to be the end of it, because I still have to clean everything, and I got to paint, because I never painted the this side of the kitchen. I painted green, the kitchen green, after I put this together, so I didn't paint that part. Hello. That's Mr.'s water. And his crate, which I'll have to move to the other side, and I probably should do that now. So that means I have to remove the 2 counter stools. Okay, well, starting to look like something. I was able to move the crate to underneath here, and I have the food on top of it, and that's my floor scrubber thing. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this whole thing, and then I gotta measure and see how much I can fit in here. I don't think it's a lot, but I'm sure gonna try. And if I can't put, well, here's the thing. Let me remove it, and then I'll tell you all the ideas that I have for this corner. Please let it not be star screws. How did I do this? I don't know how I did it. How did I do this? Okay, so this can be removed. Lord knows. All right. There's some shelves here. Ah, the star screws. I knew it. Darn it. Let me try to see if I can find my star bit. Why was I using star screws for this? You know what? Let me see something. Okay, note to self. Do not block corners of your kitchen. It will be impossible to clean. I haven't cleaned there in 13 years since we've had Electra, because there was this big panel and I couldn't get to it. So yeah, I gotta wash the whole thing. The walls, I mean, it's really bad. Don't block corners of your kitchen. So you see, he had his little office here, Mike, because he had his little internet connection. Alright, I'm just doing a quick once over, and then I'll go in and thoroughly clean. And while I do that, I'll talk to you about ideas. Okay, so one of the ideas that I had was to build benches. I have a bench here and a bench here with the table over here. The problem with that is I gotta do pros and cons for everything, right? Alright, so the pros is that it's space saving. The con is that I am again blocking the heat. It's cold in this kitchen. This part of the kitchen is an addition that they did probably in the 80s or maybe even before that. So there's literally empty space underneath it. It's the crawl space that's, if you remember the infamous video of me climbing into the crawl space with a hazmat suit to put on some insulation. Alright, that's the crawl space that's underneath the kitchen, and that is in my laundry room. Behind that weird window. Alright, so it's cold in here. If I put benches, I'm gonna again block the heat. I'm trying to get the heat in the kitchen. And then you're stuck with them. Like, they're just benches. I can't really do storage benches because then I would totally block out the heat. So I scraped the whole idea of doing benches, even though it's space saving and I could probably do like a really nice corner booth, but not with the heaters. Idea number 2 is to do a counter where all the chairs are facing this way, on a window that gives view to the empty space of the deck. I don't know. I personally don't care to eat at counters. I find them to be very uncomfortable. It's not a bad idea, but I don't know. It's probably the least intrusive thing, because those chairs that I have, those counter high chair, I found them on the street. I actually have 3 of them. The third one is in the garage. So I could have the 3 chairs and a counter here. Not great, but better, right? The third idea is to get one of those table that's a drop leaf, rectangular table, drop leaf, that's space saving with 4 chairs. They have them also where it's 2 chairs and 1 bench, and just tuck them here. That gives us a surface that we can prep on, even though we have the counter over there. And we can all sit here, and then when we have either an extra person or whatever, we can eat in a dining room. The problem with the rectangular table is that you're going to knock yourself in the corner, and it may take the entire space and may not be able to do any shopping. The other idea is a round table, a small round table. But again, I was thinking about a drop leaf one, but with this on here at the bottom, is that going to interfere with the feet? Am I going to be able to really put it against the wall? I don't know. All of this is pending measurements. So I'm not going to make that decision today. I have to measure everything, and I got to figure out what I want to do. Again, the one that makes the most sense is a counter with all the stools facing this way, and maybe some kind of storage underneath it. it's not very dinner-like in terms of an experience, but it would open up the kitchen for sure. I don't know. I gotta think about it. You tell me down below, what would you do? Booths, rectangular table, round table, or a new counter? Okay, it's all clean. Washed it 3 times. It needed it. So yeah, it's not a big space, all right? Not a big space. So what I'm gonna do, because I think that's what's going to determine any kind of plan here, is measure and see what I can fit. I saw something, once I've have the surfaces cleaned up, I'll do a better thing where you can go on Amazon and you can pick something and it actually will place it for you in your picture, and so you can see whether or not it fits. I'm going to do that, but first I need to, clean up all of this. There are space-saving items where, like a round table where everything tucks in, but the seats are in triangular shape. I don't like that. So I have a feeling that I'm going to be stuck with either a table with 2 benches or a table with 2 chairs and a bench, or a very small bistro-like table to tuck in the corner as a round table, or the counter with the 3 stools, which I really try to avoid. I don't want to do that. I don't like to eat at a counter. It's just not comfortable. Even if I make it, even if I had regular height chair and that was not counter high, I just don't like it. It's you can't have conversation with people like that. So I don't know. Let me measure it first. All right, so I have Willie on the other side, and he's going to help me measure. All right, so I'm not counting this here, but we're gonna do 2 measurements. So you're gonna do 25 or 21.
10 inches?
Yeah. And then here, it's 57. And here it's going to be same thing, 21 or 25. All right, and the height should be 30 something. 36. Okay, so quick update. I did the measurements. I went online. I looked at options. One of them actually was, I have the dishwasher running, I'm sorry. An actual kitchen nook. You know, like the bench that goes into a corner. And I didn't know that those are reversible. So what you see on the picture with the short end and then the long end, you don't have to keep it that way. You can have the long end here and then the short end on the other side. And for a quick minute, I was like, ooh, that would work. It would work if I was cutting the bottom part of it to make them fit against the wall because of the baseboard, which is doable, but you know. And then I started standing here as I was cleaning the kitchen, because I cleaned the whole counter, everything is nice now. I can really feel this whole area being warmer because this baseboard here is not blocked anymore. I had Scott come downstairs. He says he doesn't feel it. I'm definitely feeling it. I'm feeling, and I'm smelling the heat too. So obviously I was blocking all the heat having this counter and, you know, the crates and all of that, which was great for the dogs because in the winter they didn't suffer. But I can really feel the kitchen is warmer. So I'm definitely going to do a table. So in the meantime, I have all my mushroom canisters downstairs, and I am here to patch all the holes from the counter, right? I'm going to patch all of that stuff, and the next time you'll see me, I'll be sanding and painting, and maybe I'll have a table ordered. And I'm trying to think, do I want to put, why is it so liquidy? Do I want to put a rug here underneath? But then that's one more thing I gotta clean and maintain, right? Anyway, so by the way, I'm only able to do all of this because I've significantly decluttered the kitchen. I have space for all of the stuff I removed. I was not able to do that before. So we're here for decluttering, okay? Little by little, I'm getting somewhere. All right, we finish this, then I'll give you a quick view of what the kitchen looks like, and then I'll say goodbye. So kitchen back to zero, dishwasher's running, I got the whole counter taken care of. I'm using that big bowl for fruit, and the basket has the potatoes, you know, onions and stuff. That's gonna have to be changed to something else at some point. I gotta figure it out. And here's the corner all cleaned out and patched, and next time you'll see me, I'll have a solution. I'll paint everything, and I'll figure out what it is exactly that I'm going to do with that corner. I'm telling you, I think it's gonna be a table and benches, and that's about it. So I hope you're looking forward to this project and seeing how you can just like, kind of like change your kitchen a little bit and make it more functional. Again, would not be able to do that if I had not decluttered as much as I did. It's amazing the space that I was able to regain by letting go of stuff. And that would allow me to have a space here where we can sit down and eat dinner and not trash the dining room. That would be nice. Keep all the food, the crumbs, everything in here. Give me a thumbs up if you like this project and are looking forward to it. Don't forget to subscribe right here in the corner. Find me on Facebook and Instagram under My Great Challenge. And then Esty Shop, links are down below for vintage finds or channel merch, and my Patreon if you want to consider subscribing to Patreon for exclusive content not seen on YouTube, patreon.com/mygreatchallenge. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.